Hey there, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a super exciting haul. I have 4 fragrances to share with you and I feel like every one of them has a little bit of a story attached, so we will get into all of them, and one of them was actually inspired by one of you guys' comments, so definitely keep your ears open for that one. But as always, if you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe. I leave my Instagram in the description box below, and ring the bell so you'll be notified every time I put out a new video. So let's get into it. I'm gonna start with the only one that isn't a blind buy first impressions. I have smelled it before. I've smelled it a whole bunch of times and have kind of, just like its predecessor, I don't know, tried to get myself out of wanting it. But if I want a fragrance for months and months and months, or if it gets to about a year, I suppose, and I'm still thinking about it and spraying it in store, I'm like, might as well bite the bullet and get it. It wasn't gonna go on an extreme sale, even though it was a celebrity scent, because people really like it. So I think I got it for like, I don't know, maybe like $10, $15 cheaper than what it is in store, I think. So yeah, that is Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. I cannot believe, I was just as much in shock when I picked up Cloud by Ariana Grande, because I'm not really a fan of her. That doesn't play into when and if I get fragrances, but I just also wasn't a fan of her fragrances. The first 3, which I don't remember, but all the pom-pom ones, like I had smelled 1 or 2 of them ages ago and they weren't for me. They just smelled like, from what I remember, they smelled just like generic celebrity scents that were kind of like Nicki Minaj type scents. Again, maybe I need to refresh my memory, but it just had like this negative memory for me, and I thought all her fragrances were going to be like that, so I never picked them up. Ariana Grande's Cloud was very different, and I think after that she kind of took fragrances in that direction, because Thank You Next, it isn't similar in that it's like a dupe of her own fragrance, but it's on that same vibe. It's hard to explain, but it has similar qualities to it. The bottles also all changed. They all have like bases now that look like Cloud, and I like the direction she's taken her celebrity scents in. They're still very girly and sweet and kind of tacky, but it's okay. But yeah, I'm not expecting like incredible masterpiece status. I just want to enjoy it, and I actually do like this one. So this one has like a heart, a broken heart base, and this is actually the larger bottle. This was the 100 ml because it was on sale, so that's what I've got. And I have Cloud in the 50 ml, I think is what I have. Yeah, the 50 ml, but I'm happy with that size. I do not need a larger one, though I would repurchase. I'll just mention, I have tried Rem. I talked about it on my Instagram, so definitely follow. I tried it in store and it wasn't bad because it also has a base. It has kind of like a gemstone type base. It smells like Sprite, and it's not that it's bad, but it just really, really smells like Sprite to me. So I'm gonna give myself time with that one. I'm not gonna rush and pick it up. It's not bad, but it's not my favorite, so I held off. But this one I have really enjoyed, and like Cloud, it had really great lasting power when I tried it in store. So this has pear, raspberry, pink rose, coconut, musk, and macaroons. And I really did like it. I have 4 to share, so I'm gonna use just spray on my skin. And this one, as I said, is not a first impression, so I know what it smells like. And I really do like it. It's powdery, but, and that's what I really like about it, but like a powdery sugar type scent. And that's probably the macaroon type, I don't know, bakery scent, but it's very like synthetic sugary. And it's got that fake coconut, which I really, really do like. And I get coconut a lot stronger in Thank You Next than I do in Cloud, personally. Cloud for me is like sweet whipped cream with like a sprinkle of Baccarat Rouge 540, but I don't get a whole lot of coconut, whereas a lot of people do. In this though, it's very like beachy, fake coconut sugar. Oh my god, I just really, really like it. And I get it, it's not a masterpiece. You do not need this in your collection to feel like, oh my god, this is this brand new thing. But there is a quality about this that I really do enjoy, and I'm not like a perfume snob either way. Like I will get something that's, I don't know, just like a celebrity scent, something that's just $10, but then something that's like $300. And if I like it, I like it, and I don't really mind either way. I just really like this. I really like it, and I'm glad to have finally picked it up. I don't know why, with like an expensive fragrance like Amouage Mimosa Love, I'll just on a whim spend $300 and blind buy it, and then for Thank You Next, which was like $60, I waited a year because I was like, no, I don't need it. So it really, I have no explanation as to why, but I really like that one, and I'm happy to have it alongside Cloud. I'm still thinking about Rem. Something about these Ariana Grande fragrances have me spending a lot of time, so I'll probably wait a very long time before I pick up Rem, unless one of these days when I try it in store, something just clicks. But for now, my first impressions in store is that it smelled ridiculously like Sprite. On my skin, to my nose, it just smelled like Sprite. So yeah, that is Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. All right, so the next one has a long story attached to it as well, and some of you will have already heard about this story. It's Comptoir Pacifique's Vanille Banane, and this, I have wanted to try this for so long. I am not a huge vanilla person, as you guys know, but I'm getting myself into it. But I am a huge fake banana, like banana candy type scent person, to the point that I have really loved, and it's kind of, I don't know, replaced this for me because I couldn't find Vanille Banane for so long, that I have been wearing Banana Cabana by Wicked Good, and I love it. It smells, it's a rollerball, which is the only downside, but it's a very like, oh, I probably shouldn't have put it on, but yeah, it's a very like wet rollerball. You don't have to keep rolling over and over. I really have liked this. It smells like banana candy. It smells a little reminiscent of those, like, I don't know, banana medicine that we had in Canada and I think North America, because some of you have agreed. I just love it. And I've heard through the grapevine that Vanille Banane is kind of the epitome of that smell, and you guys really like it as well, and I could not find it. I had never been super interested in Comptoir Pacifique before this scent, but I was in my search for this months ago, I think around Canada Day. There was a sale online on Fragrance Buy for Comptoir Pacifique to get like the 100 ml of Eau de Lagon. And I don't know why, it was like $15, and it was like, okay, whatever, I'll pick it up. I hate this. I truly do not like the scent. It is so, it just smells like salty air and seawater, and it's way too aquatic, way too, just not my jam, kind of metallic. I really have not liked this. So I'm hoping that Vanille Banane, even though it's completely different note-wise, just has none of that Eau de Lagon, because that's my only experience with the brand. So I just want them to be as opposite as possible, and I'm really worried I won't like this, but I hope I do. This has orange, banana, whipped cream, banana leaf, clover, vanilla, and white rum. So here is what it looks like. It looks slightly different than the other one, the Eau de Lagon, in terms of bottle style. They're both 100 mils from what I can tell. Yeah, they're both 100 mils, but this is just slightly different style, I guess. This is from a different, the Eau de Voyage collection. So we will try this. I'm gonna try it over here on my arm a little higher. Oh my God. Oh my God. No, this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. It is banana candy with vanilla, but it's not a bothering me type of vanilla. It is not a vanilla where it's just gonna, I don't know, get on my nerves or make me a little nauseated. It's definitely not that. It smells a lot like that banana medicine, which I love. It also smells like there were these little like hard banana candies. There were a bunch of fruits basically, but it was one of those things where you like put in a quarter and you'd like turn the thing and you'd get like a whole bunch of fruits, but I loved the banana ones. It just tastes like, I mean, it smells like how those banana candies smelled like. It's a little fruity, very sweet. The vanilla banana candy. I love this. I have no idea in terms of, you know, sillage, projection, lasting power. I have no clue. I will compare it to Banana Cabana because that's the first one I had and a lot of you seemed interested in trying it out. This is obviously more, like way more inexpensive than getting 100 ml, but this I think has a little bit more of a, yeah, this has a little bit more of like a beachiness to it. It's kind of like banana and coconut and maybe a little pineapple. It's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit more beachy, I would say, which I love. I'm definitely gonna wear this. I wouldn't say I like one over the other right now. I like them both equally at this moment. They're similar, but this has, it's leaning a lot more like a banana candy vanilla, which makes sense. This has a lot more vanilla. That's more kind of coconut beachy. Oh my God, I'm so happy with this. I've noticed kind of all of mine, as you will see, are kind of out of season. I bought a lot of darker, richer oud type fragrances when we were in summer and spring. And now that we're going into fall, winter, I bought a bunch of like lighter beachy fragrances, but I don't care. I will probably wear them year round. And this is when I found Vanille Banane because I've been looking for it for ages. So love that, have loved both so far. We are on a good track. We're gonna get to the last two, which are kind of related, but not really. They are both my first fragrances from each of these houses, which is always really exciting for me. For some of you might know, I'm really into, like, I think some people are into having one collection and then all of them, and I get that. There is like a touch of completionist in me that wants to do that, especially with something like Maison Lancôme, which is so beautiful. But in general, I'm kind of typical of being a Gemini, I suppose. Like, I want one from each house. I want to try out as many brands or houses that I can, and I get really into them. So I've never had any fragrances from Mancera or Montale. And I know they're both under like the same company. I think they're both under Mancera or what have you. Anyways, I've never had one of either, and I've heard so much from you guys, other reviewers, about them, pros and cons. I've watched 1,000,001 videos, and because I built it up so much of myself, both the pros and the cons, I just kept holding off on what I wanted my first from each house to be. And I had it in my mind that I wanted the first from Montale to be Mouhalat, because I always thought that would be interesting, and it's always sold out. And someone was supposed to send me a decant, and that didn't work out, so I just kept waiting. And then for Mancera, I thought I wanted it to be Instant Crush, which is supposedly a type of dupe-ish type thing for Baccarat Rouge 540. Long story short, Mouhalat is still sold out from the websites I usually buy from, and Instant Crush, because it's a dupe and I just have so many, I was like, you don't really need it, why get one more? So I opened it up to other recommendations, and for Mancera, I decided to go with Holidays. Again, very beachy, very summertime from what I've heard, and this has bergamot, coconut, ylang ylang, tiare, sea notes, sandalwood, vanilla pod, and white musk. So I didn't mind. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I'm into beachy fragrances, so I figured it would be a good one, and we will try it together. So it comes in this pouch, which I didn't know I really like. I know I won't keep my fragrance in it, but I do appreciate that packaging. I might keep sunglasses in here actually, because that might fit. And this is what the bottle looks like. I've seen so many of these. I can't believe I finally got one. I get into these weird habits where I will buy something so quickly. Oh, it's a twist off. That's interesting. I thought usually they pull off. It's a twist off. And yeah, let's see what I think about Holidays by Mancera. Okay, it's opening up and it's reminding me of a fragrance, and it's gonna escape me. A fragrance I already have, maybe a little bit of, is it maybe Wanderlust? Sublime by Michael Kors, perhaps? It's unisex for sure. I feel like even there's like a touch of cologne-iness in the beginning, not masculine, but the freshness of bergamot or some citrus. Yeah, it's definitely unisex, I would say. It's beachy. It's starting to sweeten up a little bit with like beachy florals like tiara and ylang ylang, which I love. I'll have to wear it. I really, really like it. It doesn't smell overly synthetic to me. It doesn't smell overly realistic either, but I've heard that Mancera and Montale they smell very, very synthetic, and you have to be into that. As of now, it's very beachy. It's slightly citrus in the opening. I mean, more fresh, not really citrus. It's coconutty. It kind of smells like very expensive tanning lotion or sunscreen, which I love. And it's got a touch of Bond No. 9's Fire Island, which I also love. Yeah, no, I really like it. It's not anything like spectacular, blowing my mind. It's not especially unique, but it is a nice one. And if I ever go on vacation again, this would be one that if I could travel with this huge 120 ml, I would, but I would consider bringing a decant because it's so evoking of like a beachy, warm holiday. Yeah, I like it. Definitely not disappointing. I will obviously come back with second impressions at a different time, but I am pleased with it, so that's really good. And the last one is from Montale, and this is the one that one of you recommended. Please, if it was you in the comments who recommended this, I've searched for your comment far and wide and I cannot find it, but you had mentioned that it was sweet and powdery, and you had a feeling that because those are kind of my jam that I would love this. And I don't know what it was about your comment, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna wait for Montale. I'm gonna trust her, and she recommended Sweet Oriental Dream. So that just listed rose, honey, almond, and vanilla, but she said it was powdery and sweet and it has almond, and she knew I liked all those things, so I hope I do. This also comes in a pouch, which I really like, and I think I just broke something. This is what it looks like. Yeah, I think I just pulled off the lid there. This, I've seen this in videos so much. So it doesn't have a cap. You just put this stopper in here, and that's what it looks like. I've also heard this in other videos, which is so true, that you feel as though it's empty. Even just picking up the box, it's incredibly light, and this is like aluminum, so it makes sense, but it does feel like, I can hear swishing, so I know there's juice in there, but it does feel kind of like maybe it's only up to there. So that's interesting. Let's see what it's, oh my God. It's definitely powdered, very, very powdery, like talcum powder mixed with almond grounds, I would say. It is synthetic. I don't know, because I can't compare it to other, like a whole bunch of Montales, I don't know if I'm smelling like a synthetic almond, synthetic rose that's just in this, or if that's the note that people say is like uniformly in all Montales. But it definitely smells synthetic. It's got a touch of that syntheticness that's in House of Oud, Almond Harmony. This has that almond, like that kind of, I don't want to say almond marzipan because House of Oud is a lot more gourmand. This is like almond grounds if you'd like crush them all with talcum powder, maybe like a synthetic rose, but like a powdery rose. And I don't get honey personally, which was in the notes, but there is, when I breathe really deep, and again, I will have to talk more about it in a second impressions, there is a very synthetic, sweet, like semi-sweet bitter note, which could be the almond or it could be the honey, but I definitely get what they're talking about. I get 100% more of that syntheticness in the Montale than I do in the Mancera. The Mancera, I mean, it's like obvious that it's not, I don't know, like pure coconut extract and all that stuff. It doesn't smell super, super authentic, but it smells like your run-of-the-mill fragrance, like Bond No. 9's Fire Island, like that level. Whereas Montale, there is something there that, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to play around with and see how I feel about that, if that gets tiring after a while or if not. But in general really, really interesting, and I'm so happy to finally have added one to my collection. So that is my first Montale and obviously my first Mancera, and I'm really, really happy with all the 4 fragrances that I actually got. As always, I like to put my fragrances in these hauls in order of what I'm most excited to try or what I liked the most, and I will say kind of unfair advantage to Thank You Next. Because it wasn't a blind buy, I knew I was gonna like it, so I think as that's fair, like this would have to be in first place, but I also had like a guarantee that I was gonna like it, which is usually not the case because I'm a serial blind buyer, as you guys know. Then I would say, and this is close, it's close second, I would give it a close second to the Vanille Banane because I've been searching for it for so long. I have way less banana-centric fragrances in my collection than the other styles, so it's gonna really stand out. And even though it's off season, I'm really excited to wear this and see how long it lasts, compare it to Banana Cabana, and just kind of get a whole feel about it. So Vanille Banane is in second place. A close third, however, would go to Holidays by Mancera. It's a really nice beachy fragrance. I think I am excited to wear it because I want to compare it to some of my other beachy fragrances, and maybe in the spring and summer I can do, you know, an updated video on beachy fragrances. It's one that I can so see myself taking on holiday, so I definitely see the hype there. And then in last place, because it's the one that I need to play around with the most, but I don't hate it, I definitely like it, I'm just intrigued about it. So that is Sweet Oriental Dream by Montale. It's really interesting. I mean, it's powdery, it's sweet, it's got rose, it's got almond, it's got all the elements that I would like, and I even don't mind synthetic qualities most of the time, but this one's peculiar, and I'm really intrigued about it, and I'm so glad that it's a little different and that I still like it, because that's also a delicate balance to reach. So yeah, overall, such a good haul. I'm so pleased with everything. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know which one of these you have tried or you want to try, and I'll see you next time. Bye.